During the time of the British Raj in India, the city of Delhi faced a deadly menace: cobras. They were everywhere. And the British government, in a moment of what they believed to be practical problem-solving, devised a seemingly brilliant solution. They offered a bounty for every dead cobra skin turned in. A simple, direct solution. The problem is cobras. The solution is to get rid of cobras. And at first, it worked perfectly. The number of skins turned in skyrocketed. The government patted itself on the back. But then something strange began to happen. Despite the growing number of submitted skins, the population of live cobras in the city didn't seem to be decreasing. In fact, it seemed to be growing. How is that possible? Officials launched an investigation and uncovered a horrifying truth. The genius of their solution had accidentally created an entirely new industry: cobra farming. People had started setting up snake farms, breeding cobras, killing them for their skins, and turning them in for the reward. The government, realizing its mistake, abruptly canceled the bounty program. And then what? The cobra farms were now worthless. The farmers, with no reason to keep their inventory, did the only logical thing. They released all their cobras into the streets. The final result? After the entire expensive campaign, the city of Delhi had significantly more wild cobras than it started with. This isn't just a quirky historical anecdote. It's a perfect illustration of a mental trap we all fall into every single day, a trap that causes our best solutions to become our worst nightmares. It's called first-order thinking, and escaping it requires one of the most powerful mental models ever conceived: second-order thinking. Welcome back to Psych Blueprint. The story of the Cobra Effect exposes a fundamental truth about how we make decisions. We are, by default, first-order thinkers. First-order thinking is simple. It's fast, it's easy, and it focuses only on the immediate consequence. I'm hungry. I'll eat this donut. The first-order consequence: hunger is satisfied. The donut is delicious. This work email is annoying. I'll turn off notifications. The first-order consequence: the immediate annoyance is gone. It solves the problem right in front of you. But our lives, our relationships, and our careers aren't a series of simple problems. They are complex systems, and in complex systems, every action has a ripple effect. That's where second-order thinking comes in. The billionaire investor Howard Marks, who popularized the term, defines it beautifully. First-level thinking says, "It's a great company. Let's buy the stock." Second-level thinking says, "It's a great company, therefore everyone thinks the stock will go up. And it's already overpriced. Let's sell." Second-order thinking is thinking about the consequences of the consequences. It requires you to ask one simple but profoundly powerful question. And then what? I eat this donut. And then what? And I'll feel sluggish in 30 minutes. If I do this every day, my health will decline, my energy will be lower, and I might face long-term health issues. Those are the second-order consequences. I turn off email notifications. And then what? I might miss an urgent message from my boss. My team might get blocked waiting for my response. My reputation as a reliable teammate could be damaged. Those are the second and third-order consequences. First-order thinking looks for a silver bullet. Second-order thinking plays chess. It sees several moves ahead and understands that today's action shapes tomorrow's board. While Howard Marks made the term famous in the world of finance, the core idea has been around for a very long time. In the 19th century, the French economist Frédéric Bastiat wrote about that which is seen and that which is not seen. He argued that a bad economist looks only at the immediate effect of a policy, that which is seen. But a good economist anticipates the effects that unfold over time, the effects that impact different groups of people, that which is not seen. This is the very essence of second-order thinking, training yourself to see that which is not seen. It's understanding that reality isn't a straight line, it's a web. Every decision is a rock thrown into a pond. First-order thinking only sees the initial splash. Second-order thinking tracks every ripple as it expands, hits the shore, and bounces back. The fundamental definition is this: second-order thinking is a deliberate, strategic thought process that explores the deeper, indirect, and often unforeseen impacts and consequences of a decision. It doesn't just ask, What will this action cause? It asks, and what will that consequence cause? So why is this so hard? Why does our brain default to first-order thinking? The answer lies deep in our evolutionary past. For thousands of years, our ancestors lived in an immediate return environment. If you saw a lion, the problem, you had to react instantly, the first-order solution. There was no time to ponder the second-order consequences of climbing one particular tree over another. Our brains are wired to prioritize immediate survival and immediate gratification. The brain is designed to be efficient, and second-order thinking is metabolically expensive. It requires a pause, reflection, and the cognitive effort to override our solve-it-now instinct. The mechanism for activating second-order thinking, then, is to fundamentally break that automatic reaction cycle. It's about creating a space between a stimulus and your response. And in that space, you repeatedly ask, and then what? Action A causes consequence B. This is first-order thinking. And then what? Consequence B causes consequences C and D. This is second-order thinking. And then what? Consequence C causes consequence E. This is third-order thinking. It transforms a simple straight line into a branching decision tree, allowing you to see not just one possible future, but many. The consequences of ignoring second-order thinking are massive, not just in public policy, but in business. Consider one of the most classic business blunders of all time: Blockbuster's refusal to buy Netflix. In the year 2000, Netflix founder Reed Hastings flew to Dallas to meet with Blockbuster's CEO, John Antioco. Hastings offered to sell Netflix to Blockbuster for $50 million. Netflix was at the time a tiny DVD-by-mail service. Blockbuster was a $6 billion behemoth. The first-order thinking from the Blockbuster executives was clear. Why would we buy a small, unprofitable company in a niche market? Our business model, physical stores and late fees, is generating billions. Netflix is not a threat. They literally laughed Hastings out of the room. That was that which is seen. But what was that which was not seen? They failed to ask, and then what? We turned down this deal. And then what? Netflix will have to continue to fight on its own, and then what? They will continue to innovate their model. Internet speeds will get faster, and then what? Streaming video will become viable. Their all-you-can-watch subscription model will become far more appealing than driving to a store and worrying about late fees. And then what? Our entire business model based on physical stores and penalty fees will become obsolete. We will go bankrupt by focusing only on the first-order consequence, saving $50 million and avoiding a messy acquisition. Blockbuster sealed its own death warrant. 10 years later, Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy. Today, Netflix is worth hundreds of billions of dollars. That is the price of failing to think in the second order. Understanding the importance of second-order thinking is one thing. Actually applying it, especially under pressure, is another. Here is your blueprint, with 3 concrete strategies to become a systematic second-order thinker. Strategy 1. Apply the 10-10-10 rule. This rule, popularized by business journalist Susie Welch, is a simple heuristic to force you to think across different time horizons. Whenever you face a tough decision, ask yourself 3 questions. What are the consequences of this decision in 10 minutes? What are the consequences of this decision in 10 months? And what are the consequences of this decision in 10 years? Example: should I take this high-paying but high-stress job? 10 minutes, I'll feel thrilled and successful. I'll call my family with the good news. 80 months, I will likely be burned out. I'll have less time for friends and hobbies. My bank account will be healthier, but my mental health might be worse. 1 years, where does this career path lead? Is the chronic stress worth it? Will the skills I'm learning still be relevant? Does this align with the person I want to be? This rule forces you out of your immediate first-order emotions and into a long-term, second- and third-order perspective. Strategy 2. Find a devil's advocate. Our minds are brilliant at fooling themselves. We fall in love with our own ideas. To combat this, proactively find someone you trust and assign them a specific role to poke every single hole in your plan. Tell them, I'm about to make decision X. Your job is to tell me why this is a terrible idea. Think of every way this could go wrong, every unintended negative consequence. Don't worry about hurting my feelings. This process not only reveals second-order risks you've missed, but it also prepares you with contingencies. A decision that has been stress-tested by intelligent skepticism is infinitely more robust. Strategy 3. Map the system. Second-order consequences often arise from interactions. Your action affects person A, person A's reaction affects person B, and person B's reaction circles back to affect you. Take the time to draw it out. Get a piece of paper. In the middle, write your decision. Then, draw branches to all the key stakeholders, your colleagues, your customers, your competitors, your family. For each one, ask, how will they react to this? What are their incentives? How will their reaction then affect the others? This turns an abstract problem into a visual map of interacting forces. It helps you see that you aren't acting in a vacuum. You are intervening in a living, breathing system. It helps you see that which is not seen. Second-order thinking isn't about being pessimistic or indecisive. It's not about being able to perfectly predict the future. No one can. It is about acknowledging that actions have consequences beyond our immediate intentions. It's the humility to realize that we can't just solve for X without affecting Y and Z. In a world filled with quick fixes and promises of instant gratification, the ability to pause, take a breath and ask, "And then what?" is a superpower. It is what separates those who merely react to life from those who truly design it. It is what separates the chess player from the checkers player. This blueprint isn't about making decisions more complicated, it's about making them more profound. Because the quality of our lives, in the long run, is not determined by our best first-order solutions, but by our ability to anticipate and navigate their second-order consequences. So, I'll leave you with a question. Think of a time in your life when a seemingly good decision, a first-order solution, ended up causing unforeseen problems down the road. What was your personal Cobra Effect? Share your story in the comments below. There's a valuable lesson in it for all of us, and if this video gave you a powerful new tool for your mind, hit the like button and subscribe to Psych Blueprint to continue building a better you. Thanks for watching.